Welcome to all the faculty members. Thank you for joining in. We have already enabled the email IDs for all of you, so I hope that you will be able to join. And today, I will also share the steps with you for joining at 6 o'clock. So we'll just wait for more people to join in. Marlin Thayaji, hello. Welcome everyone. No, there is no separate site for attendance, so you are joining on Zoom, so your attendance will be marked. I hope that's clear. Welcome everyone. Harshil Tumarji from Jamnagar, Dr. Singh. Good evening everyone. Yeah, feedback form I'll share. I will share. I'll be sharing it in maybe by Thursday I'll share so that you have. Salivaina ji, when did you check? We have now enabled almost all the email IDs. So I'll just request you to check now. Salivahana Reddy ji, just check now. I think you should be able to log in with your registered email ID. We have enabled the email IDs for everyone. Good evening. One second. Good evening, sir. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
How are you?
Good. How are you, madam?
All good, all good. This time, I think the faculty members are very, very sincere. Uh, Yesterday, we had more than 350 people who joined the class.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Very good.
So big congratulations and applause for all the faculty members who are diligently joining.
Yeah.
Some of them were not able to join yesterday the Future Skills Prime because I think there was some mistake which I made. Their email IDs were not created. That was my mistake. So I have worked with the team today, and almost all the email IDs have been enabled. So I will just request everyone to check today. And in case if there is still an issue, then you should write to support team for the support. So before I hand it to you, let's just wait for another couple of minutes so that
Sure.
the people can join. I'll take 2-3 minutes to just
No
show them the
problem.
future skills, uh, the whole thing.
No problem.
Good evening, Sanjay Kumar Sharma ji. Good evening, Imran ji, Purva ji, Shilpa ji. Yes, Anil Kumar ji. Now I am going to tell what to do in Future Skills Prime. So, okay, let me start. Just give me a minute. I'm just sharing the link with some of your colleagues who don't have the link. Yes, yes, you can check. Yeah. So, Sridevi ji, and everyone else, good evening, everyone. Let me share that yesterday some email IDs were not created. Sorry for the inconvenience. We have created the email IDs today. So there was some mistake on my part that the email IDs were not created. So apologies for that. But if you check today, your email IDs would be created. Narasimha you just check now. Okay. After you can check side by side also. I'll request you just give me 2-3 minutes of attention so that I can show you the Future Skills Prime website. I'll just wait for 1 more minute and then I will. Great, Bhavin Ozaji, you are able to access the full Future Skills Prime. Okay, great. No. You just attend the sessions, listen to the. So, yesterday, I will just recap for those of you who missed. Okay. Azim ji, basically, you have to use the registered email ID on Atal. If you use any other ID, that will not be activated. Yeah, you have to enroll. Correct. You have to enroll in that. Yes, please enroll in the course. So I'll just, okay, let me just recap what happened yesterday. Yesterday we had the inauguration by Dr. Harshal Shah, and he suggested that all of you should ask questions related to your problems, real problems to the trainers who are coming from industry. Yeah. So that you can take the maximum benefit. So I will now show you, I'll share my screen and show what needs to be done in Future Skills Prime. Okay. I'm sharing my screen. So you type Future Skills Prime. Okay, this is the website of Future Skills Prime. Okay. And then you log in. Your registered email ID on Atal is your password. Suppose you have registered on Atal with is my screen visible? Please type yes. Okay. If it is not visible, some of you cannot see it. Anil Kumarji, I'll suggest that you just log out and then log back in on Zoom because people are able to see my screen. Okay, so moving forward, your suppose your email ID is deepika@gmail.com. Okay, that you have registered in Atal. So when you come here and you go to login, type Deepika at Gmail, that's your login ID, and Deepika at Gmail is your password also. So once you do that, you'll be able to move forward and you will come to groups. In the groups, you can search for AICTE. So when you search for AICTE, This is online DAF STEM. This is your group. Okay. Here you will see three cards. One, two, three. Now this is mandatory. You need to complete this mandatory. This is mandatory course. This assessment after that you can take, and this is free of cost. When you take the assessment, you take it from your laptop or your desktop. Okay, from the phone probably it not work, and then you need to show your keep your camera on for the assessment. Take it when you have half an hour together at a stretch, because if you start once and you stop in between, then it will not work for you next time. There's only one chance that you can take. After the assessment is done, we are giving you time till Sunday to complete the assessment. On Monday, which is 16th February, we will ask the agency for the results. On 17th, we will upload the results. So by 19th February, you can check on Atal for your passing marks. You have to score 70% for the Atal certificate, and then you give your feedback on Atal, and then you can download your certificate. There is option group in website. We have to click here after login. Digital application course we have to do. Yes, Payal ji, yes. Yes, 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 yes. So I'll request you to join the WhatsApp. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So what I was saying is, okay. Okay. So what was I saying? No. Okay. Your password will be kms.csc@rmd.ac.in. That's your password also, Mohana Sundaramji. That is your password also. The first card you have to do. Second is not mandatory. It is optional. No. Only first is mandatory and third is mandatory. Okay. The first one is mandatory and then the third one is mandatory. Second one is optional. You don't have to do this one. Okay. This is just a good course to do. That's why I have included it. I'll suggest I have given step-by-step guide to taking the assessment in the WhatsApp group. It is pinned over there. So I'll suggest that all the ones who are looking, yeah, the same is your password. varsha13 @gmail is your password also. So I'll request you to, okay. Yeah, right. Generative one is optional. Okay, Vaishnavi Rathaji, it is showing invalid. What email ID and password are you using, Vaishnavi Rathaji? And Ankit Koyani ji, which email ID are you using? And you used, okay, Atal login. No, 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 no. You don't have to use the Atal password. You have to use your email ID is the password, okay? Now it's almost time. I'm sharing the step-by-step guide in this chat also. I will share, okay? In the Zoom chat, okay? I'm just sharing. I'll stop the share here and hand it over to, yeah. Okay, so what I'm suggesting is that if for some of you it is still not working, you please send me your email ID, okay, on my email. Let me check, and in the meantime, I'll hand it over to Dr. Kotetti for his session. I'm also in the chat giving you the step-by-step guide, okay, so you can check that also for this. Second. I've shared the step-by-step guide for taking future skill assessment. Okay. Last day to complete assessment is Sunday. So right now I'll suggest that you please listen to the lecture and I'll take any questions at 7:30. Okay. So you just give me your email ID here. Those who are not able to log in, just put it in the chat and I'll check. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The materials required is there on the on Future Skills Prime. Okay. Rachna ji, just see this document which I am putting on chat. You will see how you need to do it. Please save this guide. I am also putting it in WhatsApp group. It's already there in WhatsApp group. So please see that. With that, I'll just close this and over to you, Dr. Koteti, for your lecture.
Thank you. Yeah, good evening all. Hope I am audible, right? So let me share my screen. Yeah, hope you can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen, all of you? Okay, thank you. Let me open the chat also. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session. Uh, this is Dr. Goteti. I have 29 years of experience, both acad and industry. So my areas of interest are uh, computer vision and related applications, right? So I hold a PhD in quantum physics and MTech in AML and Masters in Data Science from Deakin, Australia. So this is just a brief about me. Let me continue this. Why I'm introducing again is that because some of you missed yesterday attending this session. So I thought it will be better. All right. So today's session will be focusing predominantly on next set of models, right? Because yesterday we talked about overall ecosystem of AI. Then deep learning is again comes under subset of machine learning. Then we look at specific things like NLP, computer vision, and things like that. Okay. So let us start. So this is the agenda for today. One is deep neural networks, followed by convolutional neural networks, computer vision. After deep neural networks, I will also brief about natural language processing, right? So let us start. So this neural networks concept has actually conceptualized from human brain, right? As you see here, you have neuron, where neuron takes signals as input, then then subsequently the cell, it will process the information and then it will give certain actions, right? That is to be taken, right? So this is the model that we are want to replicate even in neural networks. So this how it is. So axon of neuron is basically a kind of a bias term that we talk about, because if these things vanish, still it will have some value, right? So you don't have to really map one-to-one correspondence, but it gives an idea of how biological neuron is actually mapped to artificial neuron as a computational unit, right? On the right hand side, if you see, this is what we call it as neuron in neural network. Okay. So x1, x2, these are the inputs, and you are putting some weights. You are multiplying with some weights on this x1, x2 because these weights indicates what is the strength of that particular input at that uh, uh, context, right? Now, if you look at the cell, right, cell has two parts. One is algebraic sum part, and other one is activation part, right? So this is basically called activation function. We'll discuss about these in detail. So essentially what happens is in the first part, you will calculate based on the weights that you are giving. Assume that I have two inputs, x1 and x2. You compute as w1 x1 plus w2 x2 plus w0. So that is nothing but this summation, right? Instead of w0, you must have put as a b here. Sometimes it is also called bias. So why deep neural networks? Deep neural networks are capable of learning complex patterns from the data. For example, if you have very massive data sets, right, comprising of thousands of records and uh, thousands of records and the number of features may be hundreds of features, right? Then probably you want to use this network model for performing the task, right? So in neural network, these are the components. We have input layer followed by multiple hidden layers and then output layer. So neurons are performing these weighted computations followed by nonlinear activation. So it is like this.
Okay. Can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
I think some email IDs are still not created. I am checking. I think the team has missed out some more email IDs. I just want to tell everyone that we are working on it. Please give us time till tomorrow because I think now the team has gone home. Tomorrow morning they will come and activate your email IDs. So please just give us time till tomorrow. These will all be sorted. In fact, Varsha, Selvarajji, people are just messaging me individually on my phone. So please just give us time till tomorrow. If it is not activated now, just have a little more patience. It will be done. Uh, and all those who are able to access, they should also put in the group that we are able to access. We are able to access. I'm only getting not able to access, not able to access. So over to you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, good. So assume that we have these features, right? Assume that the features, now you give these features to the network. This is called your input layer, right? From input layer, these are further gets propagated across to what we call hidden layer. You can have multiple hidden layers. Finally, you can think of an output layer which gives you a predicted value, right? This is how it is. All right. Now, why it is called deep neural network? Here, deep refers to number of hidden layers. If you increase number of hidden layers here, then that network is deep network. So you are looking at these hidden layers where features, which means the complex features, or extracted using by your hidden layers, right? So that's what it is. So as I said, this is a kind of automatic feature extraction where if you look at traditional machine learning, they rely on the specific techniques, which means they require some domain knowledge, right? Critical here. But in the case of neural networks, it is not that domain knowledge is important, not important, but it is just that the neural networks are more robust, right? So deep neural networks, they learn features directly from the data, so they can handle high dimensions. So this, right? So multimodal data. If you look at combination of, then it is called multimodal data, right? So networks capture complex nonlinear relationships. So you have a multiple layers, modeling of highly nonlinear features. So I wanted to show just give me a minute. So this is how it is, right? Yeah. So these are the some of the key characteristics of deep neural networks. Let us take some example. Is it visible my screen? Okay. So assume that a simple neural network, it doesn't have any hidden layer, right? There's no hidden layer. Directly input is given to this single neuron as output. How exactly it works, right? Suppose I want to model some electrical circuits like gate or gate, right? So how OR gate is connected with machine learning? You look at here, assume that we are thinking of some examples like 0 means negative example, 1 means positive example. So if you draw the feature space, right? So when you have x1 and x2, when x1 is 0 and x2 is 0, let me use different color if possible. So if both are 0, it is negative example because output is 0 means negative, 1 means positive. 1 0, 1 0 is somewhere here. This is positive example. Let me use different color. This is positive example, right? 0, 1 also positive example. And 1, 1 also positive example. Now, there is no non-linearity here, right? Because if you want to separate positive points and negative points, you can draw a line like this. This is your decision boundary. So all the points above this line, these are positive class, and the points below line are negative class. So since decision boundary is a linear equation, it is called linearly separable data. Similarly, have you understood this? Hello? Yeah, very good. Now let me take another example, AND gate, right? If you take AND gate, I will come to the activation function. Don't worry about activation function, right? I will discuss that activation function. So in the case of AND gate, what happens is, what is our activation function? We are saying here G of Z is equal to 0 when Z is less than 0, and G of Z is 1 when Z is greater than 0. You can see it here, right? When it is negative, it is 0. So now let us take this. If you take this as a data set, suppose I have two feature data set, x1 and x2, and I have y, and I'm talking about AND gate, right? 0, 0, this is negative example, 1, 0, negative example, 0, 1, negative example, 1, 1, positive example. Let us suppose I want to model this. How you model this? You just say, suppose if I use this, let me, this is x1, this is x2. Now 0, 0 is negative, 1, 0 is negative. Let me represent negative points with some blue color, right? So 0, 0 it is negative, 1, 0 negative, 0, 1 negative, but 1, 1 is positive, right? Where is 1, 1? Let me put a color here. So 1, 1 is positive. Now, can I draw a linear boundary here to separate positive examples and negative examples? Hello? Yes, right? Because if I draw a line something like this, now this is again linear decision boundary. Where all the examples above this boundary are positive examples, all the examples below, you consider them as negative examples. Have you understood this? Now we can extend this to XOR gate, right? Let me just use the whiteboard to explain this concept. So we are talking about activation functions, right? So let us understand before activation functions, a simple perceptron model. What we have seen so far is called perceptron model. That means without any hidden layers. Let me share this. If you are not able to see, let me reshare again. Now see the blackboard. Good. Why no audio? Anil, am I audible? Let me increase the. Okay, good. So here what we are saying is that without hidden layers, it will construct a linear decision boundary. Now, when you think of XOR gate, for example, right, you have inputs x1 and x2. When x1 is 0, x2 is 0, suppose my class label is 0. If x1, 1, 0, this is positive. 0, 1, this is positive. And 1, 1, this is negative. That means output is 1, output is 0, hence negative, right? Output is 1, hence positive, output is 0, hence negative. So if you look at the feature space, this is my x1, this is my x2. Now, let me use different colors. So 0, 0 is a negative example. 1, 1 also negative example. Now 1, 0, 0, 1 are positive examples, right? So let me denote with some red color. This is positive example, right? 1, 0 also positive example. Now, you cannot draw a linear decision boundary to separate your positive examples and negative examples, right? So your decision boundary is something like a non-linear decision boundary. Typically, it look like this, a kind of, right? So to solve this kind of non-linear decision boundary, your perceptron model is not sufficient, so you must have one hidden layer. At least one hidden layer to deal with non-linear feature space. What is non-linear feature space? The feature space where we will not be able to define using linear decision boundary to classify. So now how do we understand this non-linear feature space, right? Let me just put one example. Okay. This nonlinear feature space is introduced by your activation functions, right? So if you have a network, something like this, suppose, let's say I have three inputs. Now we are sending them to input layer, and then this is a hidden layer. You can have as many nodes as you want. This is another hidden layer. Let's say you have output layer. Now this x1 is given to multiple nodes in the hidden layer. So is the case here. Like this, right? And so is the case here. From every node here, you have edge to every other node. Like this. Like this, right? You're understanding, right? Now from here, you basically have output from each of these hidden node, we get your y predicted. So in this example, what are the hidden layers? This is my input layer. This is my hidden layer 1, hidden layer 2. This is my output layer. Now, does this network capable of constructing uh, uh, nonlinear decision boundary? Yes, right? Now next thing is you look at each of these node, right? So suppose there are two inputs that are coming in. One is x1, another is x2. This is bias omega 0. Let us assume that this weight is W1, this weight is W2. Now the first part is summation, second part is nonlinear function, right? Where summation will be omega 0, omega 1 x1, omega 2 x2. In other words, this summation is denoted by z. Z is given by omega 0, omega 1 x1, x2. This can be written as omega transpose x bar, where omega is the weight vector given by omega 0, omega 1, omega 2, and x bar is the vector given by 1, x1, x2. So this is the formalism. Now when you think of the activation functions, right? So you have three major activation functions. The first one is called sigmoid activation function. So sigmoid looks like this. Sigmoid of z is equal to 1 by 1 plus e power minus z. Now if you plot this function, how does it look like? Suppose this is z. As z tends to infinity, e power minus infinity is 0. This whole thing will approach 1, right? This is 1. At z is equal to 0, it is 0.5. As z is minus infinity, then what? This is minus or minus plus 1 by infinity, which is a kind of 0. So this will be like this. Typically, we call this as S curve, right? Slanted S curve. This is how a nonlinearity is introduced into the decision boundary. Because this kind of small nonlinearity is introduced by every activation node in the network. Now, most important thing is that there are many activation functions. For example, second one you have is tan hyperbolic function, which is given by e power z minus e power minus z by e power z plus e power minus z. Now, if you plot this, you're able to see blackboard, right? If you plot this, now this is my z tends to infinity. This is my z tends to minus infinity in this direction. Now, what will happen when z tends to infinity? When z tends to infinity, e power minus z tends to 0. So this becomes approximately e power z by e power z, right? Because second term will vanish. So it will be 1. So for larger values, it will be 1. What will happen when z is equal to 0? E power 0 is 1. E power minus 0 is 1. 1 minus 0 by 1 plus 1. It is 0. What will happen similarly when z tends to minus infinity on the negative side? Then first term will cancel. This will become minus 1. So assume that this is minus 1. It will be like this, right? So it will be used to scale the data between plus 1 and minus 1. If there is no audio, please check from your end. Okay. Hope I am audible, right? Now let us take another activation function that is called ReLU. ReLU means rectilinear unit. So this is defined as something like R of Z is equal to max of 0 comma Z. In other words, when Z is greater than 0, when Z is less than 0, right? Z is greater than or equal to 0. If you plot this, when Z is greater than or equal to 0, R of Z is equal to Z. So Y is equal to X equation you will have, right? This is when Z less than 0, it is 0. So it is flat here. There is something else, called leaky ReLU. That is also normally used. So this can be represented as max of 0 point some alpha comma z. Alpha is small quantity between 0 and 1. So in this case, it look like this. Can have some small negative quantity here. These are lot of other variants also, but what we need to understand here is that in neural network, what these nonlinear functions are doing, right? If you go back to the network architecture, you have, this is the network. Every node, you have a algebraic sum and you have a nonlinear term. Algebraic sum, nonlinear term, algebraic sum, nonlinear term, like that. So it can construct complex decision boundaries because of that, right? So let us understand uh, what we have here is we have forward propagation and backward propagation, right? Let me just see the slide. No, no. Instead of switching over our slides, we'll do it here. Next is forward propagation. In forward propagation of the network, why people are saying no audio? Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Okay, okay. Thank you. In forward propagation, let me take some values. Assume that I have only two nodes. Now suppose I am getting an output here, right? Assume that this is 0.1, this is 1, this is 0, and all weights are 0.1, let us say. Assume that here I have summation and I have activation function. Then what will the summation here? 0.1. Let's say we have a bias as 1. So 1 plus 0.1 into 1 plus 0.1 into 0. That will be the first component of your cell. This is the cell. Second component will be, what is the value here? 1.1. Sigma of 1.1, if you do it, since this is greater than 0, it becomes 0. So like that, we'll be computing. In forward propagation, what will happen is, it will use the feature values and compute the output. Actual computation happens in the forward pass. And in the backward propagation, you take backward propagation, right? Assume that I have something like this is my output. In backward propagation, weights are computed. What are the weights? For example, this is my W1, W2, this is my W3. Weights are computed, adjusted, we should say. Okay. How it is adjusted? Because you define a loss function. How you define loss function? It can be actual value minus predicted value whole square. But you might be having so many examples in the data set. You do this for each row and sum it up, you divide with number of instances. Right? Now let us calculate in this case, what is my output here? Assume that this is W0. This is nothing but 1 by n ya of I minus, this can be sigma omega I xi, right? I equal to 0 to 2 whole square. Now to compute this loss, what we have is, we use a gradient descent algorithm, right? How gradient descent works, let me show you. Now if you see this equation, right, it is looking like some y is equal to x square kind of a thing, like a parabola equation, right? So let me first, now you just remember this here. Let us go back to the slide. Give me a minute. So let me just share the slide. You can see in the diagram, right? Is the nonlinear function we are talking about. So next thing we need to understand is that uh, activation functions, right? So activation functions I already explained. I explained about loss computation also. Now we are talking about gradient descent, right? Let me just see. We have gradient descent slide here. No, there is no gradient descent slide. So let me take again to the board. I'm not getting into CNN. Let me finish first this. So now we are trying to understand the gradient descent. So assume that your loss function is something like this. This is my loss function, which is function of your weight vector parameters. Let's say this is weight vector, single parameter. Let's say only one weight vector, one weight we are taking. Now this algorithm starts with some initial weights, right? And in the back propagation, the weights are adjusted. That means in the back propagation, mathematically, it will happen like this. This is basically gradient with respect to W on loss function, right? This is called step size or learning rate. What is happening here is, assume that you have randomly initialized. So the algorithm ensures that your loss is getting converged. But once you reach here, it is a global minimum. This is called convex function. But neural networks are not convex functions in nature. You may have some like this. Now let us look at your you are here. Then what you do is that you you know that actually the minimum is here, but you should not get satisfied here because there are so many local minimas in the case of neural network. Then you give what we call a momentum here so that it will come to something better in terms of minimization of loss. So since you have derivatives here, that means you are moving in the opposite direction of the slope, right? Suppose if you are moving this way, it is actual slope. But you are moving in the opposite direction of slope, that's why it is negative value, minus, right? Now, now assume that you have a loss function which is given by y actual, for example, y predicted, for an example, I whole square. This becomes summation over all the examples. Minus, what is y predicted? This will be, let's say I have only two features. This will be omega 0, omega 2 x2, right? This is my y predicted whole square. Now when I apply gradient on the last function, what will happen? It becomes dou by dou omega 0 or dou by dou omega of this whole thing. That means 2 times of this expression, right? Into derivative of this will give you xj. If I want to calculate dou by dou omega j, right? Isn't it? Now, suppose it is not just this, you want to apply some nonlinearity here, then it becomes problem, right? Because if you say that your loss function is yi minus sigma of x2, because actually this is what your output is, right? This is sigma, this is activation function. Then the derivative, if you calculate, this will be typically like 2 times yi minus sigma of z into dou by dou omega of sigma of z. That's what it is. Now partial derivative with respect to this is x1. So you'll get 2 into y yi minus sigma of z for each example multiplied by dou omega of sigma of z into this fellow will be dou by dou z of sigma of z into dou z by dou w, because z is nothing but sigma omega I xi. So dou z by dou omega will be some xi. So you will get xi here. Now this fellow, we need to take partial derivative, right? Suppose sigma of z is equal to 1 by 1 plus e power minus z. What is sigma prime first derivative? Minus 1 by x square whole square into e power minus z derivative, which is nothing but minus e power minus z. This is what it is. So this can be written as 1 plus e power minus z whole square. You can simplify this something like sigma of z into 1 minus sigma z. This is an exercise. Now you have something called vanishing gradient problem, right? Something we talked about in the slide. That means if this term is very small, if the sigma of z is very small, all this product will become smaller and smaller, particularly when you have many layers, right? So then what will happen? The second term will vanish in the here this term whole thing becomes zero. There won't be any update in the weight, which means model is not learning, right? So to solve that vanishing gradient problem, you have Rayleigh activation function, because Rayleigh activation function will be either 1 or 0, right? It won't be fractional value like this. So even if you have a nested computation right from the output layer to the input layer, those not going to lead to vanishing gradient. Similarly, they are not going to lead to exponential exploding gradients, which is the case with other activation functions. So this is the concept about activation functions. Now you understood forward propagation and backward propagation. Any question, please type here. Are you able to see the screen? Blackboard? Okay. Voice is breaking? Okay, good. Now let us move on. Now we are talking about convolutional neural networks. So what is convolutional neural network? There are deep learning models with a special operation called convolution. Right? These are suitable for image processing kind of tasks. Right? So you have a convolution layer which will which will perform this convolution operation, and then we have a pooling layer and fully connected layer. Let us understand with some examples. Before getting into an example, let me just share. I am resharing in case you are not able to see. Yeah, I'm resharing again. Hope this is visible now, right? So the convolution networks will help us to find out local receptive fields. That means they can capture small local patterns, which can act as a features, right? Complex features. Then they are based on parameter shading. That means same filter slides across the image that we'll be using. And we have something like a translation in invariance. That means even if you just move the object here and there, still you will have that feature extraction, which is similar, right? So let us see here the differences between CNN and uh, you know fully connected network. So they are designed for image data, and CNN used for spatial features. Spatial features means suppose you are moving, you are actually traveling in a helicopter or something, right? You will see some hills and valleys in the ground. Similarly, a color image will have hills and valleys of RGB, red, blue, green distribution, right? That is called spatial distribution. For such spatial distribution data, the conventional neural networks may not be good enough, right? That is the reason we are using CNN models where you perform a specialized operation called convolution. How it works? First of all, you have a convolution layer, then you have a maximum pooling, then again convolution, maximum pooling, then you flatten this entire thing, then you have a fully connected layer, then you try to classify the image as either cat or dog, for example, right? So here what happens is that when you are doing convolution, right? These are the convolution operations. You are trying to extract some of the features from the pixels, right? So it's a kind of same pattern that is appearing in different regions, right? On the other hand, if you apply maximum pooling, that means you are doing subsampling on the pixels. Let us see how it works. So here what happens is you are looking at more complex features like uh, sometimes what happens is some of the specialized cases, you will be recognizing the object based on one unique feature, like for example, beak, right? Beak of a bird. Because even though physical structure and other things look similar, but beaks might be slightly different for different birds. So that is a kind of higher order feature that you want to extract. So for that, let's say this is the receptive field. That means this particular zone in my image, I wanted to focus using convolution operation. How it will work? This is what it is, right? You have a detector, or you can call it as local receptor zone, right? This is your receptive field, receptive field. It's like a torchlight, right? You're pushing a torchlight. This kernel acts as torchlight. Then torchlight beam is focusing only specific region on the floor, right? Similar to that. How does convolution operation works, right? Let us take this example, right? Suppose you are applying a kernel with values 0, 1, 2, 3 as a convolution. It works like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this size of the kernel 2 by 2. So first you block 2 by 2, this 2 by 2. Then move the kernel to the next step. Similarly, move the kernel below one step like this. So corresponding to these four receptive fields, we have one unique value, right? What is the unique value of this receptive field? It will be like this. So I have 0, 1, 3, 4 is my receptive field, and I am applying convolution with kernel 0, 1, 2, 3. How this operation is performed? It will do element by element product. 0 into 0 plus 1 into 1. Corresponding elements I am multiplying. 3 into 2 plus 4 into 3. What is the total value? 12 plus 6, 18 plus 1, 19. You can see in the output 19 here, right? Similarly, if I move my receptive field to this, then corresponding convolution operation is like this. Convolution with 0, 1, 2, 3. So corresponding elements I am multiplying. So what is the value? This is 8 plus 1, 8 plus 2, 10, 25, right? You can see 25 here. So you calculate this uh, in a similar fashion. But sometimes you also, now typically, what is the size of the input image here? 4 by, sorry, 3 by 3, right? Now what is the dimension final you get? You get 3 minus 2 plus 1 cross 3 minus 2 plus 1. This is my uh, image width and height minus this is kernel width plus 1 into image height minus kernel height plus 1. Typically, we will be looking at square type of kernels, right? So this is the kernel dimension. That's why you have this formula here. Is this clear? Convolution operation. Let me stick the chart. When to use which activation function? For example, if you want to do scaling, right? Because your data is not scaled properly, then you can use your tan hyperbolic function because it scales data between -1 and 1. Similarly, if you doing multi-class classification, you have something called softmax activation function. But for all hidden layers, you will be using ReLU activation function. Is there any relation in selecting depth of neurons? Yeah, this is a very good question. So that is called hyperparameter tuning, right? You run multiple experiments, then you try to figure out how many layers you want, how many neurons you want in each layer. So these are called learning rate, I told you, right? That means when you're moving from this loss curve, when you're moving along this loss curve, right? I told you, right? This is initial weights. When you're moving along loss curve, you take some steps, right? That is your learning rate. Now, suppose you and your son are walking down the hill. What will happen? Your son will be taking smaller steps, right? And he takes more time, isn't it? So, by increasing the learning rate, you will be speed up the execution of the algorithm. But it should not be too fast because if it is too fast, what will happen? Even it will miss this minimum and it will jump to some other small minimum. Okay. That's the reason you need to fine tune the model using appropriate learning rates. Now, is it clear? Concept of learning rate, why do we have so many activation functions, etc.? You can ask me any question if you have. Let me check the chart. Sorry. Please ask your questions. Huh? I'm waiting. It's a good question. Y plus 1, because you can check that is a when you take the difference, you need to count that one, right? It is not just difference, right? This is what is the dimension 3 by 3. You are taking 2 by 2, then you need to count this computation, then you move, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Let us move on to the next slide. So we are done with the convolution operation and the computer vision. Now we want to get into prompt engineering. Before getting into prompt engineering, I want to explain certain concepts about natural language processing, right? I will do it here. Natural language processing, right? So what is natural language processing? It involves various tasks like this. Uh, One is sentiment classification, right? That means you want to see positive sentiment or negative sentiment from the users, right? Then you also have something like text classification. This is also called, right? And then you have something like uh, language modeling. What is language modeling? Suppose I have a word cat, sat, wall. So you want to predict this word, which is nothing but on. So how the model will predict this based on the sequence of predecessor words, right? So that's why for our NLP applications, this property is called sequence modeling, right? So sequence modeling. For sequence modeling, you may not actually use clearly the NLP, neural networks, but advanced neural networks will use something called RNN, recurrent neural networks, which will carry some memory state of the predecessors, right? Things like that, right? Other applications of NLP are bot design, right? Chatbot design and all that. So how this NLP application will work? So any text processing application, if you take, Take it, you will first take the text and suppose I ate, let's say, apple. The taste is good. Okay. Suppose I will say it is better than the one I ate yesterday. Now, if you look at this kind of things, first step is tokenization. I wanted to do some text analysis, right? Tokenization. In tokenization, you find meaningful words, right? All these words. Now, next step is stemming and use stemming and lemmatization in combination. What is lemmatization? Lemmatization? Stemming means removing extra characters. Something like uh, here better is there. There is no stemming involved in this. For example, eats, if you take stemming means you cut yes, you take eat. But lemmatization means you bring them, you extract the word to the base form. For example, ate, what is the base form? Eat, right? So instead of taking two eight, we just take eat as a one base word. Now, taste is good, better. So simply you take good as one word. So like that you are reducing lot of words, right? After that, you will be applying some uh, embeddings, right? After that, you will be doing something like vector embeddings. That means you convert them into a numerical vector. This you give to your NLP models. So these are the some of the steps in natural language processing, right? But there are many such things, right? So sometimes what you do, you also do something called POS tagging. What is POS tagging? Part of speech, right? And also other task will be named entity recognition. Like for example, if you take same ten sentence, right? I is a person, or you know, apple is a fruit, right? Like that. So places, persons, all that will be part of named entity recognition. So these are some of the broad level concepts for natural language processing. So let me just go to the, let me just go to the slide. Now we are having next topic, prompt engineering, right? Let me explain what is prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is the kind of prompts that you give to the large language model, something like Chat GPT, Gemini, right? So any prompt that you give, the prompt should have clarity and specificity, like quality of prompt that you give, accordingly the response also will be from the large language model. So let us understand some of these traits, right? What are the aspects that we should consider in prompt engineering? One is clarity and specificity. I think if there are any question, let me check. I have shared the screen. Can you see? Hello? Oh. So second one is you want to provide the context, right? You want to give some background. Like this is the thing, you are a marketing expert, create a tagline for new eco-friendly water bottle. Now, clarity and specificity, explain photosynthesis in simple terms for a 10-year-old. So, one of the important thing that you always look at is persona, right? Persona brings a lot of context. Suppose you want some information. Suppose explain me about deep learning for a professor. Then it gives different response. So explain deep learning for a college student. It will put in a simple terms, right? So context is very, very important in prompting. And you also want to specify the structure and the constraints, right? Like this. Summarize the article in a three-column table, like concept, explanation, example, etc. Right? Then iteratively, you wanted to train the model. That means you run multiple prompts through which you will get quality responses, right? There are different prompt design techniques like few shot prompting, chain of thought prompting, etc. Prompt engineering is most prominent role nowadays, right? For example, people from different background, not necessarily from AI, like testing, QA, etc. Right? Those kind of roles, it will be very easy for them to get into this particular AI discipline through prompt engineering skills. So as I said, there are three ways you can design prompts: zero shot prompting, few shot prompting, and chain of thought prompting. This is the difference. What is the difference? In one shot prompting, you will give one example. In few shot prompting, you will give more examples. Like more example means you will, when you prompt, you say that, okay, New Delhi is capital of India, right? And Islamabad for, let's say, Pak. Similarly, what is the capital of, let's say, some other country, right? Australia, right? That means you are giving some examples and asking the large language model to give you the answer. Chain of thought means you will be chronologically arranging your questions, especially suitable for math problems and any logical thinking related stuff, right? Where you will make the LLM to think step by step. So anyway, this will be shared with you later on. That can be fine. Now, what are the key aspects? So you need to, if you are looking at looking at mastery in prompt engineering, these are the some of the things that you should know. One is you should be having good understanding on large language models and good communication skills, because otherwise we'll not be able to write properly, right? Prompts. Then ability to explain technical concepts to the LLM easily, and then programming experience, right? You little bit understanding on data structure stuff, so on and so forth. Any question here? In day-to-day life also you are using prompt engineering, right? You are designing prompts, right? To get some help for preparing some course plan, course outline, isn't it? So there is one interesting side effect that is called hallucination. What is hallucination? Because when the model generates incorrect or fabricated information based on long-standing memory associated with that, right? So because of this, what happens? Out because it can happen also because of it might be extracting information from various sources, right? So those sources may not be very reliable sources. So then you should ask the LLM that what is the reference that you used. That's how you can validate actually, right? Any questions here? Please ask questions. Now, that's what. Ask for citations or evidence-based answers. Use precise and context-rich prompts. Request step-by-step reasoning, right? and double check the facts with reliable sources, right? See the typical example. Suppose uh, this is something, you can see this, right? Explain how Apache Kafka is used in real time. Then it is giving ChatGPT output, something like this. Kafka is publisher subscriber model, blah, blah, blah. Now, the same thing, if you take few short prompting, they are giving multiple examples. Explain neural networks to 10-year-old. It will give neural networks are like brain made of math, etc. You are giving some examples, right? So now if you look at chain of thought, how does the self-attention mechanism in GPT model differs from publisher subscriber mechanism in Kafka? They are two different things, but you are trying to give, something, it is a more complex thinking, isn't it? But this prompt is not properly designed. You must have given 3, 4 prompts connecting to this particular prompt. So it is giving typical response like this. Now, in examination, your assessment standpoint, you might be interested in knowing some questions, right? Sample questions, because everybody will be having back of your mind, right? So you should have good understanding of all the topics that you go through uh, in those cards, right? In the future skill frame cards, there are a lot of information that is given to you. Just note down some important points. I covered a kind of a deep dive into all the subject matter related to few areas, but you can also quickly go through it considering whatever we discussed. That these sessions, I am sure, they give some kind of confidence needed to churn out that material very, very quickly, right? So these are some of the examples. Now tell me, what are the which option is correct in this? You type in the chat box. Yeah, personalized one. Yeah. No, when you say persona, you are making the model assume a specific role or identity, not D. It is B. Now let us look at this. Which of the following example of persona prompt? Yeah, B. Very good. Now let us look at this. Why are persona patterns useful in prompt engineering? Think and answer. Will they reduce number of tokens? No, right? Will they ensure that output is always grammatically correct? Not necessarily, right? Persona means role, please understand. They guide the model, tone, expertise, and perspective. On these areas, it will help the model to figure out who is asking this question. Now let us look at this. A teacher designing prompts for an educational chatbot wants the bot to act as a patient tutor, right? Because you want the bot to be a tutor. That means, what does it mean? It is a persona, right? Now let us look at this. Now we said that bias means it is actually having some kind of predetermined uh, decision making thing, right? So what is the major cause of bias in AI systems? Not deep learning models. It is human bias, which is naturally embedded in the training data. B. Because deep learning models will not introduce bias. Okay. But uh, fairness means what? This is a simple question, right? I will put it here. Let me just put here. Which option is correct? No, not D. Fairness means providing equitable treatment across different groups. It is B, not C. Yeah, correct. C, sorry. Provide equitable treatment across various groups. Now let us look at this. One minute. Let me put it here. A lending system approves more loans to men than women. That is because of bias, right? Gender bias. Next, these are some guidelines, right? Ethical guidelines and all. I don't have to worry. Next, why fairness is important for A? Which option is correct here? B. Why? Because fairness means you want to distribute the benefits of A equally among all people in the society. Right? There are some of the simple questions. So thank you so much. This is what I have for today. Right? So hope session is informative. So any
Yes.
questions, please ask.
Thank you for that session and also for asking the questions because that's what's going to help them in their assessment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You have shared your presentations with me. I
Yeah.
will
And
share it
yeah.
with the group and I will reach out to you separately because some colleges may be looking for some workshops
Yeah.
and if they are in
Sure.
Hyderabad and if you would like to take some sessions, then we can connect separately.
So thanks, Kamna, for this opportunity. We had wonderful series, great experience for me, and
Thank you so much.
I will
Yeah.
be able to contribute whichever way it helps the society, right? And especially academic fraternity and students. Thank you.
That's what
Thank you so much.
we are looking for. Thank you. Thank you
So I
so
will
much.
just log off. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I'll be in touch with you for
Sure,
more
sure,
programs
sure,
and
sure.
sessions.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. And before I welcome our next trainer, Ms. Shikha Tyagi. Hello, Shikha. You're on mute.
Hi, Kamna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also doing good. Yeah.
Great. I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes to just tell everyone a couple of things. First thing is that thank you to the faculty members for joining in. I know you had a long day and you are committed to coming 6 days for this. So thank you for that, firstly. Somebody saying I'm leaving. In learning, we have 33 elements. Yes, you have to complete all 33 elements. That's why we have given you all the time. Uh, so please listen to me carefully. Your attendance is on Zoom. So once you join on Zoom, then you are able to, we will be marking your attendance. Assessment is on Future Skills Prime. It is mandatory to do the course. So please finish the course. There are 33 modules. You need to finish all of them. That's why we are giving you time till Sunday. They are small modules. So if you do it, you'll be able to finish it by Sunday and take the assessment. Once you take the assessment by Sunday, by Wednesday, by 18th February, we will upload your results on Atal. There you can give your feedback again and then you will be able to download your certificate. Once you finish the course on Future Skills Prime, you'll get a NASCOM certificate also. So you'll be getting two certificates, one from NASCOM for completing the course and one from Atal for assessment. And one more question was there. Yeah, some of your email IDs are still not enabled. My apologies for that. Some were left out. So that will be done by tomorrow. So please give us time till tomorrow. For those who were not able to access groups in Future Skills Prime, we will be enabling that tomorrow. Thank you for your patience. And I have shared the step by step guide to the assessment in the group and also here in this chat. Please refer to that. STEM. Yes, yes. Please enroll in STEM, Fatima ji. Assessment is not on Atal. Selvin Retna ji. Selvin Retna ji assessment is on Future Skills Prime. Modules are the ones which are on the Future Skills Prime. So you have to attend from 6 to 9, not 9:30. Okay, so you have a choice. You can just take the assessment, no problem. Those who can, please do finish the course. Otherwise, assessment definitely you all can take. Ramanjaya Ganji ji. Sure. So with that, I'll hand it over to Shikha. Selvin ji, assessment is on Future Skills Prime. I've shared the step-by-step guide on WhatsApp, so please use that. So with that, I'll request you to now pay attention to the class. Thank you. Over to Shikha for your session. Please introduce yourself and take it forward.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kamna. So, hello everyone. I'm Shikha Tyagi. So, I have total more than 13 years of experience in artificial intelligence and machine learning domain. I have worked primarily with corporates. So I was full-time employee in American Express, Paytm, and last year I have created my own startup, AI Jamic, which is focusing on consulting and training of AI and how to build ethical AI for industry use cases. So with that, let me share my screen. Also, let's keep it interactive. This session, use chat box to, let's say, if whatever query you have, you can ask me there. I'll be asking few quizzes in between. So make use of this chat box as much as possible. So with that, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So let me put this on full screen. So let me first talk about the topic that I will be covering. So the topic for this session is going to be how to use AI tools for online learning. So this is also one of my favorite topics because on day-to-day basis, I'm using a lot of AI tools to upskill myself, learn about new things which are coming up. As we can see, the learning space is very dynamic, new things are coming up. So I hope whatever I am going to take you through today in this session, you will be able to apply that right away. So with that, let's go through the agenda. So the AI tools that I'll take you through will be through a smart study system which we will be building together. So the first step, as you can see here, we will build a smart study system using AI tool, which we will use to upskill ourselves, and we will use AI as our thought partner or a learning partner. Once we have an idea of how to learn the new skills, then the second step will be how to apply this smart study system for teaching and learning. So there are,
Anil Kumarji is saying that screen is not visible. It is visible to us. I think you need to log out and log back in. It is visible for everyone.
yeah, okay.
So, sorry to interrupt. Please.
Yeah, no issues. Yeah. So the second agenda will be how to apply the smart study system for teaching and learning. So there I will talk about how to design content, assessments, and interactions for students using these AI tools. And then I'll finish with responsible and ethical use of AI in education, where I'll talk about the disclosures you should make, what privacy considerations you should have while using all of these AI tools in education related field. So with this, I have a quick question for all of you. So do you know what is Bloom's 2 sigma problem? You can drop in chat as yes, no. So do you know what is Bloom's 2 sigma problem? Yeah, so let me quickly take you through what is this Bloom's 2 sigma problem. It's a very interesting study. It was done by Benjamin Blue. So I had this Wikipedia page opened here. So let me take you through this. And this is where you should focus. Let me zoom in a bit. So Benjamin Blue, he was actually a practitioner, a researcher. He did a study that whenever an average student is tutored using one-on-one methods or one-on-one mastery learning techniques, their performance increased drastically, and they performed two standard deviations better than students educated in a classroom environment. So this is why I'm taking you through. It is to show you the advantage of personalized learning content creation. So you can see the effect of one-on-one tutoring or learning. And today the AI tools that we have available with us is actually letting us create personalized education or skill development plans for all of us. So as you all know that no two people have same, let's say, understanding of a concept. Some people might be really good at one concept, some might be at some other concept. So what we need to do, we need to take help of these AI tools to develop a personalized learning plan for us. So this is exactly what I will take you through here. So as I told you in the beginning, the smart study system that we are going to create for using the AI will be a 4-step process. And I want to make sure the objective is clear for why we are creating this smart study system design. So the objective will be to first learn new skills, upskill ourselves, and also teach our students effectively using the AI tools available out there. So the 4-step process will look something like this. First, we'll start with a learning phase where we will use AI as a thought partner for upskilling or learning new skills. Second will be on content design and delivery. So let's say whatever learnings you have, now you want to give it to your students. So how you can generate the curriculum syllabus from that, how you can design the content and create interactive PowerPoint presentations using AI tools available out there. The third will be assessment phase. So let's say whatever learnings you have or whatever learnings you have delivered to your students, how you will assess how much they have grasped, or let's say how much you have grasped. For that, we will go to this third step of assessment phase, where I'll talk about how to use AI tools for item creation and auto grading. And finally, we'll finish with the analytics phase, which is where I show you how to generate the summaries, analytical insights from, let's say, the students' grading reports, or let's say the discussion which they are having on LMS. So, how to generate the insights out of it. Because let's say whatever the quiz results are there, you do some analysis on that. It will be used to create next set of personalized content creation, so that students or you as yourself can create a roadmap of what next set of activities you should perform to improve yourself on any particular topic. So this is how the roadmap will look like. Now, with this, let's start with the first phase of learning phase. So in the learning phase, I'll take you through some very popular AI tools which are available out there, which you can use as your thought partner or as your one-on-one personalized coach. I'll take you through these very popular tools. The first category of tools is your Google Colab and GitHub Copilot. They are very popular in coding related tasks. Let's say you want to work on Python coding, want to start learning about how these machine learning models are created, how they solve different problems. So these are very popular tools available out there which you can use. The second set of tools that I'll take you through is your tools like Elicit and Science Navigator. What's the use of them? They are very popular in academic research based problems. So let's say you have a research problem with you which you are working on. You want to see what is all available out there. You want to understand the already existing papers. So these are the kind of tools which can really help you in understanding any research topic of your interest. The third set of tool will be something different. So instead of technical and research focused, this third category of tool which I have mentioned here is Udly, which you can use actually to learn or let's say upskill yourself in communication aspects. So for example, let's say you have some upcoming presentation and you want to rehearse yourself and get some feedback on your delivery, your, let's say, hand gestures. So Udly is one of those tools you can try out to work on your soft skills. So working on your communication skill and all is actually categorized as a soft skill, while the other two categories of tools you can think of as working on your technical and research skills. So with this, I'll first start with Google Colab. Quick question, how many of you have used Google Colab? So you can type in yes, no. And also all these tools which I am taking you through are mostly available for free. Some have like limited free version, but that will be enough to actually work on whatever task you are interested in. So first, let me start with Colab. So as you can see, it's collab.research.google.com, and with the name you can actually see it's a product by Google. Why it's really great for learning data science, machine learning, how AI models are created. Because what Google has done, they have actually integrated their GenAI model, very popular Gemini model, in this notebook. Few years back, that was not the case. You had to learn coding on yourself, write codes here. But here, if you see on the left-hand side, the frame that you have is the place where you can write all your code. And on the right-hand side, they have integrated Gemini. So you can actually now take help of Gemini and use that as your AI pair programmer. So here you can see already it has suggested that, hello Shikha, how can I help you today? And it has given some information on that, what I can start with. So one of the most basic things in Python is how to use libraries or store or install libraries. So you see the first thing it has said that how can I install Python libraries. And the third example, if you see, it says show an example of training a simple ML model. So let's say I click on this third option. So it will take my request and Gemini behind the scene will process this request. And basis on that will start generating the code for the use case that you are interested in. So here you see on the left hand side, it has automatically generated the entire code. So starting with the data generation. And if you see, it has provided the right set of comment also, which I can read and understand that what that particular piece of code is doing. So you see, first generate data, second step is define and train a simple regression model. Then it gives you the code and also it tells you what all libraries are needed. Make prediction, evaluate the model and visualize the model's performance. So in this way, you can see without me writing any piece of code, just asking Gemini that how a ML model is trained, it has generated all this code for me. And let's say if I have any question in the same tab in Gemini, I can ask that explain linear regression to a beginner. Like, so explain linear regression to a beginner. So let's say you are not aware with this particular concept. So you can just ask Gemini and it will explain that to you. Yes, so one question is there automatically 2 frames will display? Yes, it will come automatically. And even if you don't see, you see this at the bottom, toggle Gemini. So you can click on it and it will appear on the right hand side. So you see, it has given a very good definition of what is linear regression. It has given an example also, what is feature, what is target, and what is the goal of a linear regression model. And it has given you formula also of like how it is calculated. So in this way, it's a very good tool where you can learn about Python, how it is used for creating machine learning model, any use case. Let's say you want to learn about time series forecasting. So you can take help of this Gemini integrated in Google Colab. So this is the first tool. One thing, it is specifically for Python only. If you want to learn about Python language, how to solve problems using Python. So this is very, I would say a specialized tool for Python based programming. Now the second code or the tool that I'll take you through is GitHub Copilot. So as by the name, you can see here, when I do a Google search, GitHub Copilot is like your AI pair programmer. So it is again a very popular tool for, let's say you want to understand how to build application end to end in different languages. So this is a very specialized tool for that. It also has a lot of free quota. So this Google Colab is totally free. You don't have to pay anything. With GitHub Copilot, you get some free credits every month. So it's not entirely free, but still you get a lot of free credits which you can use on a monthly basis. So here you see, this is how the interface looks like. So you can ask any question or any, let's say, app you want to build. So let's say you ask it to help me build a student Q&A chatbot. So let's say you want to build an application like this. And if you see here, it has support for these different AI models available out there, GPT-5 mini, Claude, GPT 4.1. So Claude is one of very popular one these days to build actually coding based solutions. So I've kept that as selected. So let me hit enter. So you see, it has given options like, yes, it can help me with the Q&A chatbot. Then it has asked me some options. Let's say you don't want to provide any option and say use your best judgment. So it will take that request and whatever the best practices are there in the industry, it will take that and will start using that to create the entire code structure for the project that you had created. So you see it is starting to create a backend in Python, React based front end. So all of that it will start doing at the backend. So this is, you can see, this is how you can use these specialized coding based tools. So Google Colab, again, I'll repeat, very good for learning machine learning, artificial intelligence, and GitHub Copilot if you want to, let's say, understand how to build software and applications. So a really good tool to get you started with that. So it can also generate the code for you in whatever language you are interested in. So these were the first two set of tools, very specialized for your coding or technical sort of task. Now the next two tools that I'll take you through is specifically for research, academic research that you want to perform. So first is Elicit. Quick question, are you using any such tool or have you used Elicit for scientific research? Feel free to drop in chat. If you are using any other tool, you can drop in the name for that also. So I'll go to elicit.com now. And this is how the dashboard or the landing page of elicit.com looks like. So here you see on the left hand side, it provides a lot of tools. Some will be marked as pro, so I will not be using them. I'll be only using the features which are available for free. And that these free features, again, I will say, is more than enough for your task or day-to-day task. So as part of their free tier, they provide features like find papers. Let's say you want to find papers on a specific your research area. Second option is paper chat. So let's say you upload multiple papers and you do a question and answering on that. I'm pretty sure a lot of you might have tried something similar on ChatGPT, where let's say you upload a document and do a question and answering on that. So this is something similar, but very specialized or specific to your research or academic papers. The third will be research report. So I'll take you through how to use their find papers tool and the research report workflow in two demos. So first, let's click on find papers. And here you see it says ask a research question which you want to search and explore academic literature. So let's say I'm interested to learn about semiconductor. Or let's say, let's actually look at AI, role of AI in education. So let's say this is the topic that I'm interested in, how artificial intelligence is influencing the education. And as I write this sentence, it comes up with three options to improve the query that I have written or the phrase that I have written. It says, do you want to make it more specific and clear? So you see it has rewritten my original query and now it says that what is effectiveness of integrating artificial intelligence literacy into school curriculum. The second option is population and context. So here again, it has rephrased the question to more specific one. And the third option is outcome specific. So here in the third one, you can see it has rewritten as what role does teacher professional development in AI education. So let's say I pick this first one, specificity and clarity. And if I want to make any edits, you can see all of this is editable. I can make changes here. And once I'm fine with the query or what you popularly know as prompt, so let's say I'm fine with this prompt, I hit enter here. So see, it has started analyzing my query and it is finding the most relevant papers available in its database. So in its database, it has a lot of papers taken from the internet, and it is doing analysis only on those papers. So here you see it has found 10 sources similar to the query that I had. And here you can see in the first column, it has the paper details. It gives the link also. It has option of seeing the full text. Then for every paper, it provides you a summary also. So here you see, this is the entire summary of the paper, which is there in row 1. And then here, it actually provides specific parts from the paper from where it has given these numbers like 89 experimental. So you see it has given, it says that from this paper, from this particular section, it has taken this to generate the summary. If you are aware with AI models issue like hallucination, so this is the part where it is trying to show you that it is not hallucinating. It has not made up this number 89. This has been taken from this particular paper and this particular section. So this ensures that the model is not hallucinating, and every information that it is showing you is grounded and is coming from the original paper. In the similar way, you can scroll down and see that for all the paper, it has generated summary, and it also shows you from where it has picked up those information from the paper. So if you scroll down, you see these are top 10 matches for your prompt that you had written. And if you're interested, you can load more papers also, but these are like the top 10 which it has given you in a rank order manner, which is very similar to the question or the query that we had written. So this is how you can use the elicit for it. So there's a question, I think. So elicit tool does not hallucinate. Yeah, so actually you can see it uses the paper database which is there, and it grounds the information from the information which is coming from the actual paper which it has in its database. So it's very, very minimal chances are there. So this is the first tool that I wanted to take you through. Similarly, you have paper chat, which is available for free. So here you have this option of you can select resources or upload your own papers and do a question and answering on that. But one very popular one is this research report workflow, which I'll take you through. So here, what you can do, you can ask a research question to generate a structured research report automatically. So whatever topic you have in mind, you can write here. It has given you free, some example of what sort of prompts you can write. So let's say, take this example. What is the impact of magnesium on sleep and stress? Let's say you want to generate a research report on this, basis on all the academic research which is available out there. So let's hit enter. So behind the scene, it will start the workflow where it will take your query and it will generate a research report on that. So you see it has created this research report that it says has like this heading, then the abstract, what methods are used for coming up with the results for the question that you had, which was what's the magnesium's role in sleep and stress. So it has a proper report structure, how it usually looks like, your result section, conclusion. So every information is here. And on the right hand side, if you see this highlighted section, It also tells you how it has generated this research report. So it makes it very transparent in terms of how it is arriving at the final result. So here you see it first says gather sources. So it says the query that you had written for it, it found 499 very similar sort of research papers. Then it did a further scanning and screening. As part of that, it could found 14 sources. So from the 499, it filtered down and just kept 14 sources. And from those 14 sources, it's extracted those 98 data points, which you can see in this research report. And if you want to go and see specific those papers, so here's the details link through which you can see which were the papers there, what it has included from it. So here you see everything is very transparent when you use Elicit to do your research work. So this is the first one. Similarly, there is one more very popular one, Science Navigator. So I'll just briefly take you through this. So here you can see it's actually is now actually renamed as Boerium. So, but this is very similar tool to Elicit. You can ask your any specific scientific question and get it answered. It actually fetches information from very relevant sources available on internet, which is specific to academic research or scientific in nature. So feel free to explore this also and see which is better for your day-to-day tasks. Is it Elicit or Boerium? So this is something you can try with your own set of examples. So now the last set of tool that I'll take you through is Udly. Udly, as I told you, is not for any technical work or what is research work. It is primarily used for working on your soft skill. So let me quickly show you this. So this is Udly. The main issue with this is you only get around 5 interactions for free. And after that, you need to pay for it. But anyways, let's say you have not logged in ever. So create your account with Udly and you will be able to record conversation. Let's say you have a presentation, so you can deliver your presentation. Then it will analyze your voice delivery, your facial expressions, and you will be able to get insights out of it, like what you should improve on or what is you are already doing well. So this is a very good tool for such use cases. I have already exhausted my quota, but if you have already not used, so feel free to try Udly. So let's go back to the slides now. So this is the first phase of our smart study system design, which is learning phase, using AI as our thought partner and one-on-one personalized coach. After that, there are few slides which has detailed only on the hands-on, which we have already did, but this is just for some reference, which you can go back and see. So I'll skip these slides. Yeah. Now I'll move to the next phase. So as you see, it's a 4-step process. The second step in this is the content design and delivery phase, where we'll see how to use AI tools for creating educational content and creating the material such as PowerPoint presentations. So let's start with first the content design. And for this, we have a goal in mind. So here, read this carefully. So let's take an example that you have to deliver a 1 week module on a specific topic. So with this goal, let's say in that particular module, these are the things you want to include. So in the include section, as you can see, it mentions that in the 1 week module, you want to have 3 measurable outcomes of whatever teachings you are going to do. You want to have a 90-minute live session plan, and you want AI to come up with the segments that you want to teach and what should be the timing. After that, you want to have 2 asynchronous activities also as part of that module. You want to have OER readings. OER stands for Open Educational Resources. And notice here, I have written verified open links. So these AI models should not hallucinate and create links which doesn't exist. So this is a constraint we want to have. And then finally, you want to have a graded assessment also, and a rubric of 4 criteria across 4 levels. So these are all the ideas you have in mind which you want to include in the 1 week module plan. And now I'll take you through the tools that we will use. So we will use 2 very popular AI tools. First is Perplexity, which we will use for sourcing open educational resource. And second will be ChatGPT, which we will use for creating this final template that you see in the include section. For those who are not aware with Bloom's apply and analyze, so whatever things you learn or whatever things you teach, for that, Bloom, again, Benjamin Bloom had created 6 tags. So this is something you can refer after the session, that are you able to remember a topic correctly or not? Whatever topic you have learned, are you able to apply that in actual real world problems? So he had created these tags, and whatever teachings are there, you should be able to map to any of these particular tags. So this is all what you can think about Bloom's taxonomy. Now with this, let's actually see how we are going to use the tools. But before that, I have a quick question for all of you. Is Perplexity AI search engine or large language model? So can you drop in chat what it is? Yeah, so I see some examples, LLM. Yeah, so I see majority of the answers that I'm getting is LLM. Yeah, so I'll take you through in a bit that what exactly is Perplexity. Is it a AI search engine or a large language model? Now, let's see how we are going to use these two to generate the educational content which you can deliver in any of your upcoming modules. So let's see. So these are the set of prompts we will be using. It might look a lot, but don't worry, we will go step by step. I'll show you exactly what the prompt contains and how to use those in these specific AI tools. So the first AI tool we will use is Perplexity. And with Perplexity, we will use 2 sets of tools. So let's go to Perplexity now. So let's go to Perplexity. And first, let's answer the question that I had. So is Perplexity a AI search engine or LLM? If you do a quick search of Perplexity, see this response. So as you can see, Perplexity is actually a free AI powered answer engine or a search engine. It is actually not a large language model. And I'll show you exactly why is that case. So let's go back to Perplexity AI. So this is Perplexity's landing page, and this is their chat, their bar where you can, this is their chat box where you can write the queries. Here you see the model section. If you select here or click here, you see there are different models available by or made available by different providers and different companies. So for example, Gemini is from Google. GPT model is by company, a very popular one, OpenAI. Claude, which is recently becoming very popular, is actually a set of models developed by Anthropic. You have Grok model, which is developed by X, formerly known as Twitter. So Perplexity has support for all these models. And if you think, let's say you have a model or you are a LLM provider, you will not have support for these different models from different companies. Have you ever seen on ChatGPT? Let's say go back to ChatGPT. It just provides the access to GPT model, which is OpenAI's model. But here you see, it has support for all these models. You can select any model and write a query here and it will provide you the answer. So Perplexity you can think of as a wrapper or a tool built on top of your large language models or GenAI models. So Perplexity is actually a tool which is using LLM models behind the scene. It is actually not a LLM in itself. So I hope this clears the answer, whatever confusion was there. So in the Perplexity, let's first write our prompt. And this is the prompt I will write here. So let me copy this. And we'll go through this entire prompt in detail. So let's see what this prompt says. It says find 8 to 10 authoritative recent sources on topic. Now this topic is a placeholder which you can change as per the topic that you are delivering in your upcoming session. For me, let's say I say data pre-processing is the topic that I'm interested in. So what I have done, I have removed the topic with this specific topic, and I have made some or written some constraint that prefer sources like NPTEL, university pages, textbooks, openly available educational resources. So this is the preference I have given for finding the sources on this topic. Then I have given some information on the how the output structure should look like. And if you notice here, a very important line, it says exclude personal blogs, unverifiable sites. So this is to make sure that the information is not coming from any personal blog which might contain wrong information or unauthenticated information. So this is the constraint we have written here. So let's hit enter with this particular prompt. So you see behind the scene, it is doing the analysis. And as we had requested it to generate a table, so in the prompt, you can see I had asked that return a table in this particular format. This is exactly what it has done. And you can see all the links are coming from what I had written as a preference. So it has scikit-learn documents, university pages, so NYU educational resources. And if you see, it has provided me links also for the verifiability. What I can do, I can click on any of these links and see if the information is coming from the right place or not. You see, it has resources from NPTEL also. This is a very recent video, 2026. So in this way, it has given me some 8 to 10 resources, which are verifiable, very latest. Now, as a next step, I will write the second prompt, which is this. So here you see in this, we have two-step process. So now I will write this second prompt here in Perplexity. And let's go through this. It says, from the sources above, produce a one-page teacher brief. So it is one, you can change it 2-page, 3-page, 4-page. So let's say make it 2-page. From the sources above, produce a 2-page teacher brief on topic. Now what was the topic? Same topic which we had written at the top, which is this data pre-processing in data analytics. So let's paste this here. And then I'm saying that what all it can put in that 2-page teacher brief. So sections could be like key ideas, common pitfalls, some do-don't checklist, some short example. And you see this very important line. It says every claim must have an inline citation like the author, year, link to the exact resource. If a point lacks a source, do not add that. So this is again a constraint we have written. So with this, let's hit enter. And you see it has started generating the content, and it is in every line putting that from where it has taken and in which year that particular link was made available. So it has key idea section, common pitfall, do, don't, checklist. So this is all specific to data pre-processing in data analytics. What some common mistakes are usually done while applying the data pre-processing. And as we had said that put 3 examples, so it has put those 3 examples here. And this is now available to us. You can make it a 3-pager, 4-pager, 5-pager as per your preference. Now, as a next step, you can download this. So you have options to download it as a PDF, Markdown, or a PDF file. So let's say you want to make some changes, you can download it as a docx file, and so you can make the edit. If you're fine with the PDF or whatever content you see looks good, you can download it as a PDF also. So this is how the downloaded PDF looks like. So you see it has all the information which we were seeing in the Perplexity's user interface. So this was the first step. Why we did this using Perplexity? Because it ensures that every information which we are taking from internet is grounded in some resource. You see it provides you all the links from where it has taken the information. So in case of education sector, it is very important that whatever content you have is verified, and only then it is used for education purpose. So these were the first set of prompts which we used in Perplexity. Now, if you look at our original goal, it is actually to have all of this include all the information like 90-minute live session plan, OER reading, 2 async activities. So all that formatting is what we can do using ChatGPT. So for this, we will be using 3 prompts one by one again. I'll take you through exactly what it contains and what information it will provide you. So first prompt, let me paste in ChatGPT. And it's always a good idea to start a new chat so that there is no history or conversation. So this is a fresh chat which I opened here. And I have written a prompt here, which is actually you can think of as your persona prompt. So I think in the last session, you all were answering question on what is persona. So this is exactly what I'm doing here. To this AI model, I'm giving it a role. I'm giving it a background information that what this AI model should do, whom this AI model is going to cater to. So here you see the role is you are a high school educational structure designer for India who is familiar with NAAC and privacy. Again, what you see here in square brackets is a placeholder. So feel free to replace that with whatever information you want to provide your AI model to. After that, the audience this AI model is going to work with, it can be high school student, UG, PG students or working professional. Again, all of this is in square brackets, so feel free to replace that with one entity, or you can keep all these also as it is. Then you have an option bandwidth. This is for, let's say, your students accessing internet via low bandwidth, high or typical bandwidth. Then which LMS you are using? Is it a Google Classroom or a Moodle? After that, some constraints, again, prefer OER, output style. Again, optional that always put tables first. So this is, we are not asking it to do anything. In this particular prompt, we are just providing a persona. So let's hit enter. You see it has acknowledged that, got it. I'm aligned to that role, who's my audience is, brand with reality, LMS choices, constraints you listed. So AI model has actually said that, okay, got it. I will act as per the information that you have provided me. So this was the objective of the first prompt that we have written. Now, after that, we just have two more prompts and we will be done with our content design. So here, let's now use the second prompt in ChatGPT. So here again, let me take you through the prompt first. So start with write 4 measurable learning outcome for topic. Topic is again that we had provided in Perplexity, but instead of just giving the topic name, we will actually provided this entire PDF content which we produce, so that it will generate the information from this PDF content also. So what you can do, either upload that PDF or you can copy this content also. It's a very short one, so I'm just copying this. So I copied this, and here I'll say write four measurable learning outcomes for topic given below. After that, either you can paste it or say that I have uploaded the topic information and use only that to generate the information. So I've pasted it here. And after that, I'm saying that use the Bloom supply analyze, map each learning outcome to course outcome tags, suggest the evidence to measure it, that whatever learning outcome is there, what sort of measures can be taken to understand if a student has learned that or not. And then you have this return a table format. This is the kind of tabular structure you want. So with this, let's hit enter. And you see it has started generating the table for us. So you have the learning outcome here, LO1, and it has the detail of that what is that learning outcome. So let's go through one of this. So the learning outcome one says apply data pre-processing techniques to a raw data set to make it analytics ready, justifying each choice based on data quality issue. And this learning outcome is tagged to a Bloom's apply phase. Then let's say whatever course tag you have, you can use that, or you can actually remove this also. This is optional. But the main thing is evidence or the assessment, that how you ensure that people have learned this. It is through a lab assignment, which is preprocessor given raw data set. Submissions include clean data set plus brief justification notes. So in this way, for this particular module, you have created the 4 learning outcome. Now, finally, we will paste the final prompt, which is, let's go back to the slide. It is this. So here again, you will see some placeholder which we will replace. So this is our final prompt. It says using these learning outcomes. So the learning outcome which we just got. So you can say using the learning outcome given above. Slide outline is actually your content outline. So you can say and topic information already provided. So basically in the last prompt, we have already provided all this information. So it will have information on this. Now we are asking it to create a 90-minute live plan split into 10 to 15 segments of activate, teach, practice, reflect, plus 2 asynchronous activity. Again, output table should be like segment, minute, purpose, what to show or do. So let's see what output we will get for this prompt. So you see it has started generating the table, and it's a 90-minute live session plan. So if you go back to the slides, in the slides, we have said that we want to have a 90-minute live session plan. That's why in the prompt, we have also written that. So this. So you can see it has started generating the segments. What's the purpose of that? In that segment, what to show, the tools which you can use. Should you use slides, whiteboard, or let's say a code-based tool? So this is all what it has provided us. So you can see we have the end-to-end plan available. You can copy this table and you can paste it in any Excel sheet or Google sheet. So this is copy paste ready. So in this way, you have your final 90-minute live session plan ready with you. So these were the 5 prompts we used. If I go back to the slide. So these were the set of prompts you can use together to come up with that final content we just saw. Now after that, you want to convert, let's say, or create slides from this. So they are very popular tool these days available. You don't have to manually create slides. Have you used in chat? You can provide answers. Have you used Gamma or Canva? So these are very popular tools these days for converting text into slides. Yeah, I see some of you have used, I see like Gamma using both. Yeah, so use them, they're very good. And recently, Canva has been integrated actually into Chat GPT also. So are you using that integrated version, or you are using Canva separately? So let me show you if you are not using that already. So in the Chat GPT now there is an app. So if you click here, so you see Canva is here. If you don't see Canva, you can just click on Explore Apps, and you can add Canva to your Chat GPT, and you will be able to, with the content, you will be able to create slides. And here, let me show you, it's already there. So at the rate Canva, you see, now you will start talking to Canva. So help me create, let's say, 4 to 5 slides on AI. So whatever topic you have, you can write it here, and it will start working with Canva and will design the slides for you. If you already have content like we had, so you can use that content also and paste it here and ask it to generate. So if I open the last chat, so whatever content we had pasted here, here you see this. So this entire content, or from the PDF also, you can upload this PDF and ask it to convert it into a PowerPoint presentation. So it will do that for you. So let me see what it has created. So these are the ones you see. It has given you the information on what all will be there in the slides, and after that you just create on or click on generate design, and it will create the slides for you. There is one more very popular tool called Gamma. I think a lot of you are using this. So Gamma is also a very specialized tool for PowerPoint generation. So here you see I already created some slides. So this is, if I show you here. So this is all generated by Gamma. I just pasted the text and it converted into slides. So you see it is generated everything here.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you also show what was generated by Canva? Because that would be interesting to see what the design that they created.
Yeah, it's still in generation phase.
Okay, it's still okay. Once it's done, maybe you can project that.
Yeah, it's here. You can see this. So it has started creating, and it has given a lot of themes. So if you just, let's say, click this one, you see what is AI, how it works, and it provides you multiple version, and you can open it in Canva and make the edits if any you want.
Downloadable.
Yeah, and is this PPT format downloadable?
Yes, you can download it from the Canva. You can freely download this.
Okay.
So you see in this you get multiple versions. You can select any and open that in Canva and make the editing. So basis on the minimal context we had provided, you can see it has generated these slides. If you provide more information, more relevant information, the slide content will be more useful. So these are two very popular tools. I would really highly encourage to use these for PowerPoint slides generation. So this is something which happened I think very recently Canva integration in ChatGPT. So explore this, a very handy tool. So now we are done with, I think, the content design and delivery phase. Let's go back to the slide. So this was the main objective in the second phase, is to first create the content which you are going to deliver and then convert it into a PowerPoint or any format which you will use in the classroom setting. Now after that, the third phase is assessment phase, where I will primarily use ChatGPT to take you through how you can create assessment quizzes using this. So let's go through the prompt that I will be using. So this is the prompt we will paste in ChatGPT. So let's copy this. So let's paste it here, and here you see from this reading. So reading is what we created using Perplexity and we pasted it. So from the Perplexity, or we take it from the previous chat. So whatever content we had provided here. Now let's say you want to generate the quizzes from this specifically. So let's see how we can do that. So you can see from the reading provided below, you are asking it to create 5 quiz items, 2 MCQs with misconception weight distractor, 1 numeric question, 1 scenario short answer, 1 interpret the graph, and also asking it to provide answer key and 4 cross 4 rubric for short and scenario based question. So with that, we have pasted the entire content which will be used for generating the quizzes. So let's hit enter. So you see it has started generating the questions. It has given you the answers and also provide you that where usually students get confused, what are very popular misconceptions are. So it gives you a detail on that also. So the first 2 are MCQ based questions which has certain amount of misconception. After that, if in the prompt you see, we had asked for a numeric, here you see 1 numeric, 1 short scenario based, and 1 interpret the graph type. So if you scroll down in this numeric question, you see here, you answer will not be a MCQ. Student will need to perform certain calculation and then provide you with a response. So this is an example of that. So this is the third question. Then you have a scenario based short answer where you will give your students a scenario, and basis on the scenario they will need to write some justification that what they need to do, how the final answer will come, not just ticking a let's say a option or doing a calculation. So they will need to do certain amount of writing also. So here, this is the fourth one. After that, you have interpret the graph question. So here you can see, you will actually provide a graph. Students will need to see that, and basis on that, they will need to provide the answer. So here you see, you will provide a histogram of a feature before and after pre-processing, and then you will ask a question on that. And they will need to provide the answer in this format. It has the answer key, and finally, it provides you a 4 cross 4 rubric The rubrics are usually used for questions which are scenario based or have short answers. Because judging MCQs is very easy based on the option which is picked up. But when they are writing based or scenario based, you need to grade them. And for grading, you need to have certain information on that. If this particular standard is meet, you will provide a level of 4 versus 1. So for example, like why would you give someone a score of 4 or call it a excellent? When the clarity is there in the answer, leakage awareness, justification is there. When you will grade someone a level of 3, when things are mostly correct, only few of the things are missing. When you will give someone a 1, when everything is wrong. And the 2 is that there are weaknesses, but still some clarity has been shown by the student. So these are the leveling guidelines which are usually used for scenario type questions. So this is how you can use ChatGPT. You can ask it actually to generate graphics also for the interpret the graph. So you can ask that for the question 5, please generate the histogram also. So let's say for question 5, generate the histogram. So it will start to analyze and generate the image. While it is doing that, one tool which is very specifically for such task is called Quizy. I don't know how many of you have used this. So it is called now Wayground. So Quizy is again a very specialized AI tool for generating the quizzes. So this is its landing page. You can click on create. Then you are interested in assessment part. So you can click here on the assessment. Then there are option you can upload any document. You have anything in the Google Drive. Or let's say you have a Google link or YouTube link which you can paste from which you want to actually generate the quizzes. So it provides you a lot of these options. It also provides you option with create with prompt or text. So here you can just like paste the entire text. Meanwhile, you see the histogram is ready, which you can use as part of your question number 5. But let me quickly show you how you can generate quizzes using background. So you can pass the entire text here. Only the text is needed. And then you can say what is the grade level, how many questions you want, and then just click on create resources and it will do that for you. But ChatGPT is also good. It can generate images also. Here you can see that before pre-processing, how it should look after pre-processing. So you can use these images along with the questions. So in meanwhile, you can see on Quizy also you have set of questions ready. You can edit them basis on, let's say you don't like a question, you want to make certain edits. All of that you can do here. And actually with the publish here in the right hand side top, if you see, there is this publish button. You can use this link and share it with students on any LMS like Google Classroom. And actually the results will actually be given to you in an Excel format, like what students answered. So I have a sample maybe which I can take you through. Yeah, so usually this is the kind of result you get with Quizy. Let's say you had 5 questions. So the question type, who answered what. So you see, you have the name of the students who attempted this and what output they got. So all of that detailed information is given to you. So this is with Quizy. So this was our assessment part. Now let's go to our final section. Let me go back to the slides. So this was our assessment phase. The final is our analytics phase. So you have, let's say, done with the assessment. The course is done. The 1 week module is done. Now you want to do the analysis, like how a student did. You want to analyze the discussions that they are doing on learning management systems like Google Classroom. So all of that also you can do with ChatGPT. So I'll take you through this prompt now. I will use this announcement prompt here, which you see. So let me first paste this. And let's see what it says. So the prompt says, summarize these posts into themes, misconceptions, and a 15-minute practice task. Write a support 120-word announcement for the students. Now you see the line says, summarize these posts. So we haven't provided any post as of now. So let me take some post. So in Google Classroom, whatever discussions usually people do, that actually you can export from Google, and primarily it looks like this. So here you see you will have student names, what message they write. So instead of manually going through all the discussions which they are doing, you can actually take help of AI to analyze this. So you can either upload it or it's a small discussion document. So maybe I can just paste it here. So here you see it has this JSON which has student information and what messages they return. And after that, you can see summarize above post into themes, misconceptions, and a 15-minute practice task. With this, when you hit enter, it will start to analyze what students are talking about. So here you see the theme summary is this. What is the importance of pre-processing? Common pre-processing tasks, practical exposures. After that, they are talking about misconceptions and confusions. So students have certain confusions related to certain topics. So this is what AI has found, that students are not able to understand the missing value concepts better. What is normalization versus standardization? They are very confused about these two topics. What is outlier, how to do that, scope of pre-processing. So these are the 4 themes AI has figured out where students are confused, and it has come up with a 15-minute practice task which you can provide them, and it can help them in understanding these confusions which they are encountering. So here it says that you can provide a data set, and you can provide these tasks, and these will be the deliverables. And finally, it ends with a supportive announcement of data about the course which they had done, or the whatever content you delivered, along with keeping them motivated. Not just the LMS, what actually you can do, the quiz results that you get, for example, like this, you can upload these files also and ask AI to tell you in which category of questions students are not able to give answers. So you can specifically create a personalized learning plan for students, like which student is not able to perform in which particular topic. So those sort of assessments can also be done using the AI tools. So this was all part of your analytics phase. Now I have a final section on ethics, how to use AI and what not to do. Before that, I have a quick question. Which of these is PII? PII stands for personally identifiable information. So in chat, you can say which is PII, person name or Aadhaar number. Yeah, so I see Aadhaar number is being given as the answer, and yes, it is correct. So Aadhaar number is a PII information, and why I have this question here, it is because of the thing we should know about when using the AI tools. So this is related to responsible AI tool usage. So these are the 6 main pillars you should be aware of. So first is that no AI is 100% correct. There's slightly maybe 0.101%, but there can be some cases when the result is not correct. Hence, always verify AI generated content with tools like Perplexity, Google Scholar for source citations before publishing to students. Here you see, source citation is very important. That's why I showed you why use Perplexity for content or the curriculum design. Second is your privacy protection. So never include student or your own PII information in AI prompts like Aadhaar number. Don't use WhatsApp screenshot. Use only redacted or anonymized content. Third is always do proper attribution. Cite all resources, add credits like image taken from this XYZ place. Fourth is accessibility standard. Whatever content you are creating, provide captions, alternate text, or good color contrast so that it can be consumed by all sections of people. Fifth is academic integrity. Make sure AI is okay for ideas, outlines, and practice. It is not allowed for proctor test. So clearly disclose which AI uses are allowed versus which are prohibited, and mostly on AI detector usage. So I would say even AI detector tools are not fully reliable. They might also have some of the issues. So ask always students to maintain the version history and the prompt which they use to come up with the final version. Try to see and understand whether they actually understood the concept or not, and conduct the short vivas from those versions. So these are the 6 main things you should always be aware of while using the AI tools. Yeah, so this is all I had to take you through today. Any question, anyone?
Thank you so much for that. Uh, Very engaging session and lot of information and lot of tools which will be really helpful. I'll just request you, Shikha, to share the PPT with me so that I can share it with all the faculty members.
Yeah.
And I'll just repeat that tomorrow we will meet again at 6 o'clock. And some of your email IDs I know are not enabled yet. We will be doing it by tomorrow. You can take the assessment on Future Skills Prime by Sunday, and by 18th you can download your certificate from Atal. There's one question: which AI is most reliable? You want to answer that?
Yeah, so whatever provides you the sources or citation, I would prefer that one. So you, in the
So
case,
perplexity. So
yeah,
perplexity.
yeah.
Correct. Right. Right. Thank you so much. See you all at tomorrow at 6. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you everyone. Bye.
Bye.